Hello! Did you know that Uwe Rosenberg is a credited designer on 274 board games at the time of writing, which is frankly far too many, especially considering that all of them contain agriculture, livestock, building tiles, and surprisingly low victory point counts. Well, except for all the ones that don't have those things.
This man has designed loads of these things. It's the thing he's most famous for when he isn't off doing nefarious experimentation with beans. And we love him for it, there's no denying it.
We're Uwe Rosenheads!
Feeding old men sad fish suppers in Newsford? That's nice.
Tessellating your various meats and chainmails in a feast for Odin? Oh yes, please.
Deciding if the labour value of having another child outweighs the potential drains on your meagre food supply, considering the harvests have been subpar for so many seasons. Or are they simply another mouth to feed that'll decimate your economy of grains and pumpkins and leave your already hungry family to go begging for another round? Decisions are fun!
But when Black Forest showed up in its really quite ugly green box, I mean, this thing is hideous.
Yeah,
what were they thinking?
We'll come back
what
to
were they
that.
thinking going on with this? I hate it so much!
We'll come back to that, Tom.
Okay, we'll come back to it. We had to ask ourselves a pretty simple question. What makes this box different from all the rest? Say it with me now. Nothing!
Hey, that's not true. I don't actually think that.
Oh.
I had to say it because you put it in the script. This one's different, all right? You've got little roads and villages that you move around.
No, I'm not having it. If you've played another Uwe Rosenberg game, you know exactly what you're getting into. A pleasant and bucolic farming time. You're gonna plant barley and flax. Your animals are going to have standardized sexual relations. Uwe Rosenberg's done it again. And so I'm gonna tell you right now that this game is good, it's fun, it's a perfectly nice time, but it might not be entirely necessary for you to get if you've got other Uwe Rosen games.
Whoa.
This might not even be the best one to start with.
I really like this game.
I like it too.
The first time I played it 3 times in 2 days. 3!
Wow. Well, it looks like we've got ourselves a little fork in this review road.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to take this road over here.
No, but I wanted to take that one.
So, welcome to the Black Forest. In this game, you are trying to make the very best farm/glass-making compound that this titular forest has ever seen. Turns in this game are incredibly simple. You're just going to move to a new space and then take both of the actions either side of it. And these actions get you stuff, like fields and resources and pigs. Some of these spaces let you convert that stuff into more stuff. And you can also build things on plots of land. And by the end of the game, all this moving and doing will have turned your pathetic realm of ponds and flax fields into upwards of 2 bits of land. And maybe you'll have some cows and a shed, and a meat, and some glass. And everyone will get points for doing that stuff, and at the end of the game, someone will have won. But the important thing is, at the end of the game, you'll have a board with 4 different pigs on it, and privately you will have named them Kenneth, Archibald, Bertrand, and Susan. And then on my board, I'll have an unbelievable quantity of ponds. I started building strategically, but then I just kept going because I found it funny, and I couldn't really stop.
All right, that's enough of these Fisher-Price pontifications. The people at home know exactly what they're getting in for, and they want to find out about the stuff that's actually innovative. And let me tell you, in this game, you're gonna get to go on a little walk. Whereas in other worker placement games, you might feel like a godlike presence hovering above the board, bending the buildings and sheep to your every whim, in this game, you'll put your booties on the ground. You've just got one worker. They're a little wooden boy. And the places that you have them visit have geography. They have relations to each other. They've got texture and character of their own. I need coal to build this building. But to get coal, I need wood, and that's 2 whole villages over. Am I really gonna trek that far? I mean, I could stop off and get a cow along the way at this village, sort of like a bovine service station. There's a sense of place here. The different clusters of spaces are little villages, gently randomized at the start of each game, that you rock up to with a bindle and a dream. A dream to build a large field of barley or something. But here is the rub. Sure, there's a beautiful world to explore out there, my lovely baby boy, but getting out there is going to be expensive. It's going to cost you supplies, one of the more precious resources on these crazy resource wheels that we're going to get into just a little later. The short version is that you're like a DJ, but for meat and bits of wood.
Can we play two sheep in a wood, please, mate?
You can cycle around the spots in the same little village till you're old and grey and nobody loves you, for free! But going literally anywhere else requires an extra layer of logistics that wrinkles your decision making constantly. So it's a worker placement game, but with an actual map that you can't just travel around willy-nilly. And if someone is in the exact space that you want to go to with the exact actions you want to take next to them, then you can't go there, they're blocking you. Classic. But the even worse news is that if you arrive in a village that someone is already in, you have to pay them a resource, like they're some fancy baron that you need to appease.
Thank you for welcoming me into your village. I bring you as a gift 1 water.
Thank you. And look, there's more I could talk about here. A travelling merchant whose movement around the board lets you gently manipulate which of your favourite shops is where. And these job spaces that add more strategy decimating but actually tactically quite useful deals for the flexible agrarian.
Flexible agrarians in your area are waiting to chat.
And what's important here aren't these specific rules necessarily, it's more how they all come together to change the feeling of the entire thing. Like, Agricola has a very stark and scary end. You can see it coming from a mile away, and you've got to do your best until then. Good luck. But Black Forest is far more meandering, curious, ponderous, bucolic. The ending of this game is a little more nebulous. It basically happens when someone has just made a bunch of stuff. And this end state, combined with the pottering around the board, it's just something that feels far more gentle. And yes, of course, there are tough decisions in this game, but they're harder to crunch out, they're harder to see 100% clearly. It builds into this game that feels far more wandering than it might normally. Is this worth it? Is this efficient? I don't know, it's hard to tell. But I know for a fact that pig is called Susan. And responding to that muddiness with almost a bit of a shrug feels like the intended response here. To me, it's a game of eyeballing and estimates, and that seems about right. And I like my Uwe Rosenberg games exactly that way. It reminds me a bit of a Vonnegut-ism. Sure, I can have things delivered directly to my door, I can have things ordered in bulk, but if I want something, I should pop down to the shops. Maybe I'll see a nice cat along the way. Maybe I'll see a face in a building that I hadn't spotted before, or see some graffiti that's amusing to me. I don't know, it's nice to wander. It's nice to go outside.
I might see a pig called Susan!
You might see a pig called Susan! It's a good time, and it's nice.
Mama says it's my turn to have a go in the video review. Okay. These clock-looking wheelie suckers are a revolution, haha, in the world of boring board games. And that is said with such love. You cut me, I bleed, 1 cube turns into 2. But when you're dealing with loads of resources that are constantly being spent and gained, it can feel a bit too much like you're wrestling with a gang of invisible abacuses. Abacuses? Abacusai?
Abacus wee!
Abacus wee!
Abacus wee!
These things are really neat because unlike having a bunch of cubes and little tracks, this lets you change the quantity of one resource, but it also lets you change the quantity of all of your resources at the same time. And that's important because on both of the Black Forest's resource wheels, you're going to convert one of each type of resource to create special fancy resources within these secondary resource track bits within the same wheel. And you do this just by doing this. We just changed the quantities of 5 different resources using only 1 finger. That's incredible. I bet I could do it with my little finger.
No, don't do it. No, you can't.
And so this is possibly the coolest use of segments since the chocolate orange. These edges of the wheelie spokes even bake in an automatic cap for resource quantities. And so if you can't store any more of something, it'll just drag the discs around the edge, like baby NASCARs. A very clear and physical reminder of the resources that you've just lost. That's horrible. And I've got some bad news. this conversion of resources isn't even optional. Whenever you have at least one of each resource type, you must immediately produce one of these special resources. This creates an optimization puzzle that is as frustrating as it is satisfying. It basically means that there's always one resource that you currently can't have. Something will always have to be set at 0 so you can accumulate other stuff without your stockpiles being diminished to make obligatory glass. Managing this automated conversion whilst also trying to collect a lot of one thing without then hitting that cap and wasting resources, it's a good puzzle.
It's just a good puzzle! And it is a good puzzle combined with the sort of warm, nebulous giddiness you get from repeatedly saying the word wheat.
Oh, it's just a treat.
It's a treat to say wheat.
What's going on with this box?
Yeah, we should talk about the box. It's so bad.
It's like one of those magic eye pictures where it actually looks fine from far away. Whenever I'm about this far away from the box, I'm like, it's quite a nice box.
Yeah,
I like it.
fine.
But then you get closer and it's a Photoshop filter hellscape, a wriggling mess that doesn't match the art style of anything in the game.
Which is crazy because the rest of the game looks so flippin' good. It looks so charming and lovely. Why have they done this, Matthew?
I hate to be the shallow person that I am, but this box takes my enjoyment of this whole thing and like just reduces it by about 20%. It's like they've cut off the head.
Like if it was a person, they've
Like if it was a person, they've cut off its head.
That's really messed up. Why did you write that?
Why did I write that?
Why did you write that?
I don't know.
So Matt really likes this one, but I don't know where I would necessarily recommend it within the sort of expanded UWE'S. I do like the looseness of it, the game end timer being hard to gauge, not worrying about the specific action efficiency as much as in, say, Agricola, where you see it looming 24/7.
And I think the breeziness of this really works with the game's theme as well. Like, you're just going on a little walk between some villages.
Little meander.
And it's quick. This isn't a crunchy hog that's gonna eat away your whole day.
But it is still big. It will eat away at your entire table, and it comes in a flippin' massive box.
It's bigger than it needs to be.
It's bigger than it needs to be.
But whilst I would have liked to see this in a smaller box, it's not the biggest box in the world. We've seen bigger. And I do think that the way they've put all of these resources onto these little dials, this could have been a horrendous mess of wooden pieces, but it's actually quite pared down.
And
with
surprisingly affordable as well, because it's
is.
only got these little tokens rather than loads of little chits. I take that point. I agree with it.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Thank you.
But if you already have a bunch of UWE games, do you need this one? And if you don't have any, is this the one we'd recommend to people? I don't know who it's for. Agricola is super sharp. A Feast for Odin's got Tetris in it. It's got Tetris, Mum, you know?
Yeah, and Newsford has you feeding fish to old people.
It's really hard to compete with that. And Hallertau is also really good. It's just unbelievably boring, but in the way that we like, in the way that we like.
I think this is in the same cursed nebula as Taverns of Tiefenthal. I really love it, but there's nothing so exceptional or exciting here for that love to be presented on anything more than a platter of broad shrugs. Gosh, I wish this box was smaller. If this box was smaller and it wasn't so ugly, do you think that you'd find a way to fit it into Tom's internal pantheon of UWE gods?
Yes. I think I would. Thing is, if you don't know which one of the UWE games to get, then don't worry, we've got you covered.
Call us on our personal phone numbers.
We don't do that. Don't do that. We've got the UWE Flosen chart.
Oh, the UWE Flosen chart.
For the people at home. Use your computer PC to download it for absolutely free as a JPEG image file.
Or maybe a link to a PDF in the description. Or maybe not, depending on whether or not I do it.
We are going to do it. We're going to do it.
I hope so.
We better.
I hope I do.
We better.
Thank you so much for watching this video of me and Tom having a little gentle, fun argument in the Schwarzwälder.
Ooh, lovely.
Schwarzwälder, get out of here. That's a cake joke. If you like this stuff, you can support us on a bunch of different things. There's links in the description. And if you do support us, then the next month you're going to get bonus bits, little video things, and you're going to get a video of just me and Tom playing this game.
Chilling out.
Just chilling out and doing some stuff with wild hogs on the internet. You just took us money for it.
Right, yeah.
And well, you can see all of it.
That's enough, that's enough. See you next time.
Everything.
Bye. Yeah, bye.